My treat today.
Thank you. But I don't think they take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted at 99% of places.
99%?
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Keep the Faith live stream. I'm Greg Loring Albright. I use he and him pronouns. I'm the designer of Keep the Faith, and I'm here to teach this game on stream to these wonderful folks. But first, I'll let them introduce themselves. Let's start with Anna, since she's next to me.
Oh my gosh, I'm first. Wow. A lot of pressure. Hi. I'm Anthropy. I am a game designer. You can find me on Blue Sky at shit. What is my Blue Sky? already off the rails. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm at Cybergirl on Blue Sky Cyborg URL. And you can find my games on w.itch.io, on which.io. You can find my games like Princess with a Cursed Sword, all those games in that series. Forgotten Palaces, my The Awards winning trilogy of games, very hard to describe. So yeah, I'm on the internet. You can find my stuff. Okay, next.
Thank you, Anna. Next, let's have Eloy introduce.
All those games in that series.
Eloy, are you there? You muted. There we
Yes,
go.
I am. Sorry, I muted myself. I am Eloy Lasanta of Third Eye Games and New Agenda Publishing. I am the creator of mini games such as Apocalypse Prevention Inc., Ninja Crusade, Part-Time Gods, the PIP system,
Thank you, Andrew. Very nice
lots
to
of
have
different
Eloy
stuff.
introduced.
Most books that are out have my name on it
Eloy, are you
somewhere.
there? You muted. There we go.
But yes, I am a game designer and game design educator and play the mini games such as
Cool.
Apocalypse
Thank you,
Prevention
Tim.
Inc.,
Do you want to go
Ninja
next?
Crusade,
Yes,
Part-Time Gods,
I
the PIP system,
Thank you, Andrew. Very nice
lots
to
of
have
different
Eloy
stuff.
introduced.
Most books
Pausing
that
for
are out
technical
have my
issues.
name on it somewhere.
I somehow
But yes,
lost
I
my
am a,
window. It's just the
game
weirdest darn.
designer
There it
and,
is.
game design educator and play the mini games such as
Cool.
If
Thank
we're
you, Tim.
silent,
Do you wanna go next?
did we hurt
yes,
the
I-
Oh
site?
yeah. Do we know? Are we
lots of different
messing
stuff.
up whatever Andrew's trying to
Most
diagnose?
books that are
Pausing
out
for technical
have
issues.
my
Or
name on it
yeah,
somewhere.
I somehow
But yes,
lost
I
my
am a,
window.
Wild. All right. Thank you, Andrew. All right, we're going to continue our introductions with Tim. Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Tim Hutchings. The only reason any of you know me would be for the game Thousand-Year-Old Vampire. I'm an independent game maker. That's it.
Thank you, Tim. Amabel is next.
I'm Amabel Holland. I design board games. I have like, I don't know, 80 board games. I also do video essays about board games, their history and their future. That's me.
And you just wrote a really cool book that I just finished reading.
I did do a book.
Wait, plug your
and
book.
What?
Plug your book. I don't know about your book.
Okay, my book is called Cardboard Ghosts, and it's about using physical games to model and critique systems.
it's very good.
That's the book.
And last but not least, M. Friedman.
Hi, I'm only kind of a designer, but mostly just a teacher. I write about TTRPGs for Polygon and do a lot of the studying of actual play. And here I am. And I am in book jail, from which I have been temporarily freed to learn this game.
Thank you for joining us on book probation. Okay, so we are going to learn how to play Keep the Faith. We are here until roughly 10 o'clock, so see if we can get through a whole game. As I said to these folks earlier, in person, even at the maximum player count, which is 5, it shouldn't take 2 hours to play this game. But because interfaces are weird, it's going to take us a little bit more time than usual. So bear with us as we navigate screentop.gg. Shout out, it's a very good platform. We are going to start. I'm just going to work us through the rules. So let's get started. So we've done the setup because ScreenTop does that for us. But part of setting up this game is setting up sort of who you're playing with and what you want to do. And so there's a prologue. And the first part of the prologue says, read this aloud. This is a storytelling game. Together we will create and evolve a religion over 5 rounds of play. Each round represents a century going by. Each of us will play as a sect within the faith, holding true to our core value. Achieve one of your goals in order to ensure the best possible future for your sect, and maybe for the faith as a whole. So the first thing we need to do is decide what set of values do we want to talk about. These central 6 cards are the values, and they are in oppositional pairs. So here we have, I'm going to blow this up on the screen, be in the world, and then its opposite, be set apart. There are 2 sides. So when I say we need to choose a set of values, we could go green or we could go orange. We could also mix and match, but for the purposes of speed, let's just pick straight green or straight orange. So I'll read all the green ones aloud, and then I'll read all the orange ones aloud. And you can think about, we're going to be saying these words a lot. So if there's something in here you really like or something in here you really don't like, bear that in mind. So we've got be in the world and its opposite, be set apart. We've got recall the old and reveal the new. We've got welcome the outsider and guard the faith. So that's our green set. Now I'm going to flip them all. So on orange side, pardon the terrible layout. This is not Andrew or the press's fault. This is my fault for setting up ScreenTop weird. This is works over faith, and its opposite, faith over works. We've got wield power and yield power. We've got spread the word and protect the secrets. Players, do we have a strong feeling for orange or green?
I think I
Green.
like green.
Great. Here too. Others?
I kind of like orange. I don't know.
Uh-oh, is there an orange pair that you like that you want to, like, we can mix
So
and match?
I like spread protect the secrets. Well, actually, if I had to choose one, wield power versus yield power is really interesting to me.
So what if we do this? So we've got be in the world, be set apart, wield power, yield power, guard the faith, welcome the outsider.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the green for the welcome the outsider and guard the faith.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So, but I'm fine with the mix too. I think that's dope.
Yeah, no, I think
Cool.
this is fun.
All right. So these are our values. These are the things that we could choose to believe, to really like strongly espouse. Having set these, we have to have our brief safety moment. We talked a little bit about this off mic, or off, I guess, on mic, off air, whatever. Because we're rolling live, things will emerge. We will generally try and keep the tone a little bit lighter, although we will explore stuff. There's a game about religion. We're going to talk about stuff. Where Tim suggested we use the invisible X card, so we will be talking about things in that way. We also have a little back channel chat here to talk about safety concerns. I also mentioned this to the players, but everyone in this game gets a hand of aspect cards, and you will get more cards than you ever need to use. So if you have something you don't want to talk about, you can always not talk about it. If you have something you don't want to see in your hand, you can just ditch it to the bottom of the deck. Okay, so back to my rules document. Okay, the next thing we have to do, each player select one core value and place it face up in front of you. So over here, these are 6 cards that correspond to the numbers, right? So this just says value 2. Value 2 is your sect's core value. I'll read you the bottom part later. Whichever one of these you care about, take the card that corresponds to it and put it next to yourself. This is going to be the thing that your sect, your sort of lineage of religious thought over 500 years is devoted to.
I mean, they're all good, so I'll take whatever's left.
Great.
Well, wait, they're just numbered though. So
Correct.
how are they
So
numbered?
yes. So be in the world is 1.
Okay.
And the Roman numerals are at the bottom of the
Whoa.
cards. Sorry, yes, I didn't make that clear. Yes.
Okay.
So
Oh,
wield
okay.
power's
I see the
2,
numbers now.
welcome the outsiders 3, etc. Right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm gonna
I want
take
to-
welcome the outsider.
I want
Awesome.
4.
I would like to take yield power if that
Yield
is,
power,
no
wonderful.
one else is drawn to that one.
I'd
I
take,
will take-
be set apart if I could,
Okay.
Great.
unless somebody else wants it.
No, you're good. Okay, so we have 2, 4, and 6 left.
Yes.
I'm-
2 is wield power.
Oh no, Tim just took B set apart.
If you want it, you can have it though.
No, I was just looking at what cards were left.
2 and 6.
I will take Guard to the Faith.
Cool. All right. So then this card number 2, just gonna go away. This is nobody's core value. This over here is the game box.
Nobody
Go over
wants
there.
to wield power. That's so interesting.
Oh, so is that not our value or just not a sect value?
Great question. So all 6 of these things are things that are like conceptually possible for this religion to really embrace. But the thing that you've chosen for your card is what your sect within the religion really, really cares about. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Cool. So, in fact, because we're in a 5-player game, the one that nobody chose, is the starting tenet of the faith. So, at the beginning of the game, this is the faith's most important thing, because none of you chose it. In a lower player count game, you would have a discussion or just roll a die to randomize which of the remaining ones becomes the tenet. But at 5, it's nice. You just have, here it is. So, I'm turning this central card. This is the orthodoxy indicator. The tenet and its 2 neighbors, right? So the tenet is 2, its neighbors are 1 and 3. These are normal stuff to believe. If you believe this, you're in the mainstream, you're just chilling, you're a cool part of this religion. If you believe any of these other things, you might be a problem. So this dividing line down the middle is orthodox values, which are the tenant and its neighbors, and schismatic values, which are the other side. I'll explain what those mean in a minute, but just always know I will try and keep this correctly oriented to the tenant and its neighbors.
It's
Okay.
good when a religion wants to wield power, I think. I think when you build a religion around that, that's usually a good thing.
Mhm.
Historically, that's gone super well.
According to the histories written by those religions. Good. Okay. So read this aloud. There's always a beginning before the beginning. What is the faith like at the start of our story? The next thing we need to do is we're going to figure out how does our faith express its tenet. And this is kind of the core action of the game, so I'll take a little bit of time to teach it, and we're going to do this again and again. I'm going to shuffle this deck and draw the top card. This is Reflective Holidays. And so when you get a card like this in this game, only the top banner is really the super important part. The questions are there to prompt you, to give you something to talk about, but they're not mandatory. You could answer one, some, all, or none of those questions as a part of this game. You could just talk about what a reflective holiday means and not answer any of the questions, and that's also fine. So I'll read these questions. Does the faith mourn or reflect? What religious historical event is named as the reason for the somber moment? What ritual formalizes the sadness? And so this card, sorry everyone who's reading it, I guess you keep the preview when I move it, I don't know. This card's going to get tucked under here. And so our reflective holidays express our desire to wield power. And the play of this game lies in describing what that looks like. How is that sensorially apprehended by the practitioners of this faith? I am happy to give an example, but if you all want to just jump in and take a stab at it, you can.
Are we just free forming, just throwing stuff out?
Yes, and this is the only time everyone gets to do it. Normally you do it on your turn for the card you played, but for setup,
okay.
everyone does it together.
Great. Okay.
Well, I mean, I feel like if it's a reflective moment, I'm just going to jump in.
Do it.
If it's a reflective moment about wielding power, I could see our religion is possibly like one that just usurped another religion. So we obviously we have to take the day and remember the people that we took power from. Because, we're humble about how much power we have right now.
It's also, to follow up on that, a day where we have to wield the power in the ways of the old religion, which are wrong.
I like that.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Oh, so no one has like a carnivalesque kind of a thing.
I'm thinking it's kind of, but scary sometimes, because we have to
Well,
remember why.
that is also true of the carnival, though, right?
Okay.
If you're doing it right. Very good. Amabel, do you want to add anything else? You are certainly welcome to pass. You're just the one who hasn't spoken yet. So
I will pass at this moment. I think that all sounds rad.
Perfect. All right. So we've established the starting tenet. Now each player is going to take a prologue turn. And what you are going to do, and actually I need to give you your hands, so let me do this. I know it'll take a little bit of time, but I don't want the deck to get messed up again. I'm going to put 4 cards. I'll put them in your player area, and you can stick them in your hand. 3, 4. And you put these cards in your hand and look at them. They're not really secret information, so you can just leave them on the table and look at them if you want to. And you're going to pick one of these cards and play it to your core value, just like that, except you're the only one who gets to describe what it is. Oh, and we have to pick a first player. Does anyone want to be the first player? I'm going to give it to Em because she's in the top left for now.
I knew that was going to happen.
That was the seat that was
Knew it.
unchosen as we were loading in. Don't worry, first player moves all the time.
Cool.
All you have to do is pick one of your cards, attach it to your core value. I can do the little card mechanic tucking with this thing if you need me to, and tell us about how the aspect, these cards are the aspect cards. So tell us how the aspect expresses the value.
I did not get cards.
Oh no, hold on, I got you. 2, 3, 4. Your hand is vertical, so I lost track of it. My apologies.
Um, so, so while people read really fast, there's a sort of different tier of safety in here, which is the idea that we could very easily reproduce the patterns of existing religions.
Yes.
And I'm a I'm an angry atheist type person, but I don't want to be punching down at people. So who aren't tough or who aren't powerful and Christian and whatever. But so how do we just got to be aware of that, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And this is built into the design of the game, right? It's designed so that you can use it for critique. But yes, you need to be careful with your critiques and with who you're critiquing. So thank you, Tim, for foregrounding that for us. I appreciate it.
Okay. So, so I play this like to my okay, so I bring it over here.
So yeah, your
Is that
core
my
value
deal?
is 6, which is here. Yep. And I will
Yes.
tuck it in, and you can start telling us the story. I'll move the cards around.
Okay, so this is unseen forces. Hoodoo practitioners of the faith invoke or blame when things go right or when things go wrong. Are these understandings in line with the faith's orthodoxy? And does it matter that like I'm like this value is on the schismatic side at the moment?
No, not right now.
Okay. I mean, it would seem that like um so do they have to so the idea is they're unseen forces. Could it be like um when uh when things go when th- it when things go wrong, it is the souls like of the like most devout in the usurped faith. Does that make
Ooh.
sense?
Mm-hmm.
The faith we took over as a part of the Reflective
Yeah.
Holiday card, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the gods of the previous religion are demons now.
Well, I was thinking more like not even like the like that full inversion so much as like a kind of lower tier of like the departed, like the ancestor kind of level of like uh um like the people like the prior generations who like were in the like who were usurped, right? um but I'm willing to play around with that.
And they're the ones who are like stealing your sock when it goes missing. Or
Yeah.
Right.
cool. Okay. Wonderful. And then so once you've played a card out of your hand, you draw a new card from the deck. So your hand should
Okay.
always be at 4.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So clocks go this way. So Eloy is next.
Oh, it's me. I mean, I want to do this initiation one since I'm welcome the outsider. It seems like that just fits so
Ooh.
well.
Perfect.
And I will say that and it's this, right? It's E. Yeah. Um Bam. See, I learn.
Nice to know.
And what I'm gonna say, since we're gonna stick with this kind of usurping religion, but I'm gonna kind of borrow from existing stuff, and I'm gonna say that the we have a ritual where we drink wine, but it's like symbolizes the blood of the past religion, the people who did the past religion, and we're imbibing their grace, so that we can we can go forward and carry on the message, uh the correct message, because they had the wrong one, but we still need their power in order to keep going forward.
This religion is like wonderful and horrifying already. Um,
You
good, good,
invited
good.
me, that's why. I
It's
apologize.
great.
It
No, don't
already, yeah.
apologize. It's wonderful. All right, next up, Amabel.
Yeah, okay. Let's how to reorder is the hang on, where are my brackets? No, did I not? How do I tuck this under again? I'm sorry.
No worries. So click and drag. Actually, can I do it? Is this the
Yeah.
card you have selected? There we go. Cool. And this is your value is B in the
Yeah.
world. Cool. I
Yeah.
will tuck it under for you. You
Okay.
can just describe
All
what's
right.
going on.
So celebratory holidays. I feel like a nice but spooky midwinter festival might be all right. Something to really get people to feel in the world, not to be like a part, but to be just the traditions of the people, to be something that's fun uh and is but a little horrifying, like a Halloween Christmas sort of vibe is. I think that'd be nice and be very earthy, and maybe also just be a charitable thing, helping people, you know?
Perfect. Perfect. Wonderful. I love that we have the celebratory and the reflective holidays are both in play. Good. All right. And then so then Amabel, go ahead and draw. Yep, a new card for your hand. You got it. Okay. Anna is up.
Cool. I'm still figuring out what this means, but I think I'm really drawn to. I have a card that says marriage. And I really, and I want to fit that with yield power. I'm trying to figure out what that looks like, in play. So what do we have so far? We have a religion that usurped a previous religion. That has this like these kind of carnivalesque festivals where they, or days of atonement, where they reenact the rituals and morals of the old religion. Um, they have this like complicated relationship to the old religion. Um, hmm. Okay. So, I think that I really want there to be I really want there to be a marriage structure that is not just two people. Because that's fun to play with.
Awesome.
And so I think there is maybe some kind of power exchange component to that. Like um maybe there is a like triadic kind of relationship that has three discrete roles that each relate to each other in different ways, and we can figure out the details of what those look like in play. Um, but entering into a marriage involves each of the participants entering into one of those roles and assuming the kinds of responsibilities and vulnerabilities associated with it. I think each of them involves. I think each role involves some kind of sacrifice to one of the other members of the triad.
Cool. Cool. Wonderful. All right. Tim, go ahead and Anna, go ahead and draw a new card from the deck.
Oh yes.
And then Tim, go ahead and play to your core value.
Cool. So B set apart is the core value, and the card I have here is hierarchy. Are the clergy part of a defined structure? Who is in charge? Who is uncomfortable with their power? Who strives for more? And I think what we have is we have a religion which is unwilling to acknowledge that it needs parts of the strength of the power of the will to exert that's present in the old religion. And so the people, the those within the new religion who rise to positions of decision making have to make hard decisions. And as they make hard decisions, they tap the power of the old religion to do harsh things. And as these people do this, they begin to be set apart from the community, because they're no longer of their religion. They're essentially sliding backwards, and they come to be associated with the mischief spirits, and the ancient names. And eventually, these people, after absorbing so much power, this is also why this is a schismatic sect, is because after these people have absorbed so much power, they literally sequester themselves away like an anchorite. They wall themselves up so they can no longer infect the community with their will and are fed through a slot in a wall.
Awesome. Terrible. Very
Love
good.
that.
Free. I love how
Very good.
quickly we got to anchorites. Excellent.
We're going there. Very good. Okay, so we have all taken a prologue turn. The last part of the prologue is the era shift. So two things, sort of pausing for the teach. Number one, we haven't talked about like where or when or what's going on in the world, right? That's okay. I intentionally left the rules open to say if you want to establish setting during setting, you can. But I really personally like when the setting just sort of bubbles up. So now is our moment to say if we want to say like we're in fantasy dragon world or we're on the moon, we can. If we don't do that, I would suggest the way that we do this, and this is also in the rulebook, sort of in the play suggestions, is like when you answer a question, when you do one of these card placements you just did, think about like what is physically happening, right? Like describe the sensory aspects, describe the objects that people are touching, because as you do that, things will emerge and you'll say, oh, well, we're in this kind of world now, right? We know that we have slots in the wall. Does this make sense?
Yeah. And we're
Cool.
expected to yet when we're yes-anding our way along.
Absolutely. There is a part in the rulebook I didn't get there to yet, but if there's a conflict, which there sometimes is between sort of like established canon, the way you resolve it is you say the active player is in charge of the story, and you also say different sects might do things differently, right? Your sort of default description is this is what we do throughout the whole faith. But if you get to a point of conflict, what you say is, oh well, that's what my sect does, and your sect might not do it that way.
One sect might live on the dragon planet, one sect might live on the
Yes, yes, exactly. Okay, so the last part of the setup of the prologue is the first player, M, is going to draw the top card of this deck and resolve it.
Okay, zooming, zoom. Oh,
I can read it
100
aloud.
years have passed. Move one aspect from the tenant, one value counterclockwise. May not move the outermost aspect. Then answer the question below.
Let's pause right there. So you ignore the may not move the outermost aspect during setup. This is just to hold certain things static during the gameplay. So move one aspect from the tenet, so one pink header card from value 2, one value counterclockwise. So this card is going to go, clocks go that way, so it's going to go over here. Oops.
And so it's always a particular one.
Great question. These cards always move a card off the tenet. They destabilize. They might move it clockwise, counterclockwise, or directly across to the opposite.
And it's because it's the controlling tenet, the starting tenet. Gotcha.
Exactly right. Yep. Okay, so that happens, right? And what happened was, nope, this one, Reflective Holidays, is no longer about wielding power. In the century that passed, our Reflective Holidays became about being in the world. And so now, the second half of this card, right? What forces outside the faith caused this aspect to change during this century? Perhaps a leader was assassinated, the barren lands bloomed, the gates were flung open. And as with the aspect cards, you can embrace some or all or none of these questions. These are just to give you a hook.
So it seems like it's probably like more banal in terms of the like I'm leaning into the carnival the carnival aspect and just saying like it was a question of like the cottage industry that built up around like providing for like the physical apparatus of the events has like really shifted to this kind of worldly like kind of it became much more of a gustatory event in a lot of ways, right? Like and so by way of like it's much more about the food involved and thinking about the ways in which like the peoples come together and eat, and it's entirely because it's become not quite commercialized but close to that.
Is it an official holiday? I think it should be an official holiday.
Oh,
Like,
for
like you're
sure.
saying, like at the
It's
national like
it's got the
level.
national stamp. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really good for the economy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Very good. This is and this is the game timer, right? We'll draw 5 more of these, or we'll be done when we're done. So everyone's going to get to do at least one. Let me click back to my rules. Okay, so the first player draws and resolves top card of the error deck. Yes, the prologue is now over. Pass the first player token 1 seed clockwise. Begin with gameplay below. So before we begin with gameplay, how's everybody feeling?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good, great.
Good.
We've created a
I
very
really want my
wonderful.
king cake to arrive. This feels like I need
Yes,
I need a shiny feminist snack, please.
I also am a big Mardi Gras fan. I like that. I like that we have a sort of Halloween, Christmas Mardi Gras happening. Okay, so this is the prologue, right? But there are other mechanical things going on here. I haven't told you about your goal cards yet, and we haven't talked about what these little pawns are. So now I'm going to teach you what those are. To win this game, I mean, really to win this game. Oh no, did I trap my goals behind our names? I did. To win this game, you tell a good story about a religion, which we're already on track to do. But you have some goals. I pulled out 2. These are secrets, so don't show them to each other. I pulled out 2 to look at just so we can see what they look like. Of course, caveat, I've said this before, this is all like my terrible layout. The card backs are from Jabari Weathers. They're great, but the fronts of the cards are all a mess. And is this the one? Yes, so these will tell you some stuff. And actually, I see everyone's mousing on righteous. Let's look over at contrary. So this is how you're going to win this game. And you have 2 of them. And they might be contradictory, and that's okay. You only have to resolve 1. Think of these as like 2 fates your sect could take. So if you get this one, you would say, okay, your goal is to lead a breakaway sect, achieve the fractured ending, and ensure that your core value is schismatic. So let's read it backwards. Your core value is schismatic, right? We know this thing determines what is orthodox and what is schismatic. So if you had this card, and right now your core value was guard the faith, yield power, be set apart, you would be achieving that second part, right? Your core value is on the schismatic side. Now, of course, this thing's going to turn. So just because it's schismatic now doesn't mean it'll be schismatic forever. And then the first part, second, achieve the fractured ending. So at the end of the game, we're going to count all the aspect, the pink header cards, that are tucked under the values and divide across the line here, right? So on the orthodox side are 1, 2, 3 pink cards. And on the schismatic side are 1, 2, 3 pink cards. So we're tied. Tied achieves the fractured ending. The faith, essentially, these are like the practices, right? And if our practices all align, if we had 10 on the orthodox side and 2 on schismatic, we have created a very stable faith, and we've achieved the stable ending. So some of your goals will say achieve the stable ending, but this goal wants to achieve the fractured ending. They want to burn it all down. And so if you're trying to achieve this goal, you want to put a lot of aspects on schismatic cards. Does this distinction make sense? Cool. So these are the 2 things your goal cards will talk about. They'll talk about achieving the fractured or stable ending, which again is the count of aspects on either side of the line. And they'll talk about, is your core value the tenet? They might also talk about, is your core value orthodox or schismatic? Right, this one, righteous, this is one of the easier goals. They are not fair. They are not evenly distributed. So if you get righteous, your only goal is make your core value the tenet. If you have contrary, this is one of the harder ones. Achieve the fractured ending and ensure that your core value is schismatic. So you each have 2 of these. You can look at them. Excuse me. And this is what will sort of guide your play of the game, right? Why are you putting certain aspects certain places? That's why. The other reason you would put certain aspects certain places is because, as it says on your core value card, when you play an aspect to any other value, gain 1 power. So these pawns, the black pawns, are power tokens. Everyone starts with 1, and you can spend them to move aspects around. So if you can't move the outermost one, right? But I could move the innermost one. I could say, I'm moving this, and I can move it anywhere I want. I can say, boop, now this is about this. Oops. Oh my gosh, I'm navigating. Okay. In order to move it, you have to spend 2 power tokens if your core value is schismatic, and 3 if it's orthodox. And this is repeated on here somewhere. Yes, right there. And this is a 2 optional alter. Spend 3 power tokens, 2 if your core value is schismatic. So I feel like I did a bad job teaching that. Does this make sense to everyone?
I think so. What happens if?
Yes.
Oh,
no, go ahead.
For someone?
No, you're good.
I have a question about a possible outcome. We have what if most of the pink cards are on the schismatic side? Does that matter?
The fractured ending occurs, yes. So fractured is tied or more schismatic.
Thank you.
Yes.
So it's easier to break it than it is to keep it stable.
Yep. Okay, so how your turn goes is you must.
One quick question.
Yes, please.
What are power tokens again?
Yes, the black pawns.
Okay, so we each start with 1.
You each start with 1, and this is just base loaded into screen top. The game's not going to ship with black chess pawns, I don't think.
How do we get more of those?
There's a supply, and you get them by playing not to your core value, right? So if my core value is 1, and on my turn I decide to put my aspect on 4, 5, whatever, anything not 1, I earn 1, right? Because I've contributed to the faith as a whole rather than to myself. The other way you get them is if at the end of the round your core value is orthodox, everybody gets 1. And so this is the last mechanical thing I have to teach, and then I'll do a brief review at the end of the round. So we're going to start with Eloy, and everyone's going to take a turn, and then we'll resolve another era card. And then we'll say, what's our new tenet? What do we care about now? And that's going to go to the card with the most aspects attached to it. So if we were to do this right now, and we don't do it right now at the end of setup, but if we were, this becomes our tenet, and this guy rotates. So now these are orthodox, and these are schismatic.
Interesting.
Yeah? Cool. I was part of this new thing I'm working on is figuring out how to not front load so many of these mechanics, because there's a lot. I just dumped a lot on you, I know, and you're going to want to think about where are you putting your aspects and why. But in brief, if you have a goal that says make your core value the tenet, you should be stacking aspects on your core value. But if you do that, you're not going to get power tokens that you can use to move more aspects to your core value. Pardon me, that was a lot of talking. Okay. So, just in review, you are going to, on your turn, play a card from your hand to any value. If you didn't play to your core value, you take one of these. If you did, you do nothing. Then there's an optional spend tokens to move another card. And then your turn ends.
Okay.
Everyone's going to take 1 turn, and then we're going to resolve another era card. So, Eloy, kick us off. You've got the first player marker.
All right. I am going to play 1 to my own aspect. Welcome the outsider. I'm going to play fashion. And I have the weird idea. I feel like we got like a celebrity member of our religion. And when they came in, they had like a funky, like red and black faux hawk. And then it just seemed like a lot of our people just started copying that because they wanted to be like the celebrity, probably with some pop star or something like that. So a lot of our members can now be identified by red and black faux hawks. M is like halfway there already now.
Yes, very good. All right, I will move this card.
I feel like the Houston Rockets did that to my brother when he worked for them.
Awesome. And so because you played to your core value, you do not gain a power token.
Right.
You do not have enough power tokens to move anything. You drew another card to fill your hand. Excellent. And now your turn's over. So Amabel, you are up.
All right. So the card I have here, Ancestors. What role, if any, does memory of ancestors play in the faith? Are one's ancestors strictly genealogical? Are there other ways to have an ancestor? I feel like I'm going to play this to welcome the outsider, because I feel like I don't know how much the ancestors are important. There's this whole other religion we usurped, and we're not sure how we feel about that. Like, there's a lot of possible negativity there, and so having a thing where it doesn't matter where you came from, you can come in. I think that works quite well. So that's where I'm putting that card.
Wonderful. And that is not your core value. So, yep, you gain a power token. And your core value is 1, which is orthodox. So because you're orthodox, you don't actually you can't spend these to move yet. It costs you 3.
Okay.
So then your turn's over. So draw another card to fill your hand, and turn goes to Anna.
Okay, so I am gonna play Decor, and I am playing that to oh, this card
I got
second
you.
here
You
is
talk. You talk. I'll do this.
I am playing that to guard the faith. So we've previously established, I think, the idea of the old religion kind of the elements, the mythological figures of the old religion kind of showing up as like as like Krampuses and Yule lads and like punishing carnivalesque figures. And I think so part of the we're living in an era now where our our re- repentance festival has become really mainstream and is really commercialized. And so I think that the live, laugh, love hanging for people in this religion is like a priest from the old religion like shaking like religious scepter at you and like looking at you really angrily, and there's like some saying about how the members of the old cast are going to come and get you or something like that. So there's this real commercialization that is going on of the trappings and imagery, the exaggerated trappings and imagery of this old religion that we have like colonized and supplanted.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Is this your core value? No. So you
It
get a
is
token.
not, so I'm going to take a power token
Perfect.
and become powerful.
And because your core value is schismatic, you could, if you wanted to, spend these 2 right now to move any aspect that is not the outermost aspect to any other place, right? So you can't
Okay.
grab this because it's the outermost, but you could grab this or that.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
What happens at the end of the round if there is a tie for
Great question.
which tenant has the highest most cards?
Yes. So the tiebreaker rules are number 1, the tenant wants to move. So if the current tenant, which is not in the running at all, if it were, we would go to the one that is tied that is not the current tenant. But that's not going to happen, right? If there is still a tie, like let's say this one and this one get tied by the end, the tenant wants to move the shortest distance. So this will go here. And if there's still a tie, the first player decides. But that has happened very rarely in playtesting.
Okay, and I can move any card except the outermost cards?
Correct.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna spend 2 of my power tokens. I'm gonna take
Wonderful.
fashion. And I am going to move, if I can remember how to rotate my cards. There we go.
Q and E.
I am moving it to be set apart.
Wonderful. I will do the stacking. And what does it look like? What does the faux hawk happen?
I believe that I believe that part of the fashion now kind of adopts the aesthetics. It gets mixed up in the aesthetics of the old religion, and so there's like a youth counterculture that is like dressing up as the scary Krampus priest, and it's like I think their equivalent of like a punk aesthetic is dressing like a mythological priest figure who's gonna come and like get you in the middle of the night.
They're
That's I
dressing
think
up
what's
like the guys who had to get put in the anchorite container.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just think the aesthetics of the old religion are becoming really fetishized, is what's happening kind of across the board here.
Perfect. Thank you for demonstrating this optional part of your turn. Go ahead and draw a
You're
card to fill your
welcome.
hand,
Oh yeah.
and turn goes to Tim.
Okay, me, right? I'm gonna take children. And what happens when a new baby is born? How does the faith recognize or support its youngest practitioners? Are there special ways for children to participate in the faith? Exposure to the world, to religious tenets, is actually contaminates that pureness. The idea that there's spirits in the air, that there are people who emulate demonic figures, all of this makes the older someone is, the less pure they are. And so one of the schismatic principles, because it's really a terrible idea, is that as soon as a child is able to communicate, they are given responsibilities and decision making. The younger they are, the larger the decisions. And the idea being that this pure soul can lead because they haven't been contaminated. But of course, really, they're very careful about what they actually say the child said. But
Awesome. And you're attaching this to yield power, yeah?
I'm attaching this to yield power.
Wonderful.
yeah.
And
I got you. This is terrible.
Oh.
This is why cards are great in the real world and why digital cards are a mess. Because this would take me like a second to do on the table, but whatever. Cool. And this is not your core value, right?
Yeah, so that means I get one of these.
Exactly right.
I want to, I can just spend these right now to move a card.
Your core value is 4, yeah, which is schismatic. So yep, exactly right. You can spend those to move a card.
Totally do that.
Awesome.
I'm gonna take the celebratory holidays.
And these are switched. Reflective should be the outermost because it's
Okay.
basically the one that last arrived becomes the outermost. So celebratory
Okay.
is allowed. I have the cards mixed up.
All right, cool. So I take celebratory holidays. I'm going to put it on Be Set Apart.
Wonderful. I will
And
do that for you.
a big part of these holidays now is to have like the people, especially with the young people, they dress in the old ways. They become the old goblin men who live in caves, and that becomes that the mocking way, not mocking, but the way that you are accepted is to in some way signal your set apartedness and to quote the old versions of it. And one of the celebratory holiday aspects is people make because food is so important, right? Food becomes smaller, and the idea that it can pass through symbolic gaps.
Awesome. Slider culture has arrived. Very good. Okay, M is up. And I can
Yay.
draw a 4th card.
Okay. I am going to put legends on my own Guard the Faith. And what are the exciting stories of the faith? Which tales do children ask to hear again and again? Are these tales in vogue or out of vogue? I think they're rising among, like, obviously this is on the schismatic side, but tales of the kind of the moments of well, actually, I originally wanted this to be like, oh, this is more usurper bullshit. But and I could go that way, but Tim has laid up this batshit idea with children. And so I think that what's growing on the schismatic kind of among the schismatic sects is this tale of um, young children who were involved in the usurping. That they're like the tales and legends are that they are the first ones to kind of speak with the idea that the old religion was needed to be put down or taken over. And it's the stories, it's like the legends of the little ones that that get told.
I'm imagining like YA books written about these kids.
Oh no, I hate it. It's a it's like what if they find Jesus in the temple and he's also flipping the tables and he's 10.
Wild, wild. Okay, so we have gone one full round. So let me just check my rules for sequencing because y'all are game designers. You understand things change and you forget how they work. Right, so the first thing we do is we resolve the era card. So first player, Eloy, go ahead and grab the top card of that deck.
Okay. Bam.
And flip it. 100 years have passed. Move one aspect from the tenet to the opposite value. The tenet is bereft of aspects, so nothing happens. And then answer the question below. What forces outside the faith cause this aspect to change? So instead, you're just going to describe what changed in the world that caused the tenet to not be important to us at all anymore. Perhaps a great famine swept the land. A new mode of travel was adopted. The dispossessed rose up.
Oh, okay.
Wait, but nothing changed.
So what you're describing when there's nothing in the tenet to take away is just like, why did this idea fall so far out of favor?
Okay.
Oh, so the wield power idea is what we're talking about.
Because there's nothing to take from here.
Because there's nothing to take. I'm gonna say that well, I mean, there's no reason to wield power when we have, we had a baby boom. So with so many young kids being brought up, we as the adults, we don't need to wield the power. We just give it all to the kids.
Awesome. A century of baby booming.
Yeah,
very good.
I love it.
Wonderful. All right, the next thing we do is we move the tenet. So the card with the most aspects becomes the tenet. We have two candidates. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, they're both the same amount away as well, but is there a clockwise or counterclockwise rule?
Nope, just distance.
So it would just be then it would just mean that I would choose then.
You have the power.
Okay. I will put it on B set apart.
Very good. So the new tenet is B set apart. So yield power, be set apart, and welcome the outsider are now orthodox values. And the other three are schismatic. Everyone who has an orthodox value, core value, excuse me, gains one power token. So you're an insider now. And then we check, is the era deck empty? No, so we are not ending the game. We pass the first player. But let's have a quick check-in. We're an hour in. We're a round in. How are things going?
I'm feeling
Pretty
good.
good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Great. Let's keep cooking. Let's keep this round going. My throat is killing me, so I'm going to go fill up my water bottle. I won't hear what is said, but you all know what you're doing now, so if you want to start playing, you can. Or if you want to just hang out for like 30 seconds while I fill up my water, I'll be right back.
What do people want to do?
I don't actually know what we're supposed to do next.
Well, I mean,
Amabel is the current player, so
Yeah.
you play about.
Yeah.
Play a thing. Yeah.
All right.
So
All right.
Eloy is the first player. You did
No,
the
I was last time. Now it's Amabel.
Now it's passed.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing another round. All right. So the card I have here is food. How does food show up formally in the faith? Informally, what are food taboos or favorite dishes? So there's a lot of talk about food, about small food, and I like that. I like small food. There's a lot of talk about children making decisions maybe. You know, and the thing about kids is they don't have the most sophisticated palate. So this schismatic idea to be in the world is to center food around like really fancy amuse bouches. So and that's a thing we can do to have it be, you know, more of the people, more sensory. We're gonna take back small food from like chicken nuggets. I love chicken nuggets, but I'm gonna take it back for like really fancy stuff. Like a lemon
Awesome.
meringue pie that fits in your hand. That sounds perfect.
Now I'm getting hungry. It's very good. Did you play to your core value?
My own
Annabelle?
core value, yes.
So you don't get a new power token, but your core value is now schismatic. So if you want to spend 2 power tokens to move an aspect, you can.
You know, I might. Let me. You know what? I'll hold off for now.
Stockpile some power. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. And then, yep, you filled your hand. Very good. So next up is Anna.
Okay. I want to put something on wheeled power, and I'm trying to decide what. Let's see.
I will say that I love the idea of everything just getting smaller now that we're following children. It's like
Now
even
we're
our
following
plates are
children.
getting smaller. Like we're just a religion of tapas. Like that. It's like that.
How tall should our tables be? Like 2 feet.
Nope. They need to be shorter. We
Okay,
have to.
okay,
We have to appease.
Okay, I think I figured it out. Okay, I'm playing other religions, and I'm playing it to wheel power. And this
Awesome.
represents the fact that we have raised our children in a religious environment where we have made the trappings of the old religion seem like the coolest things in the world. And so now now the old religion is like, or a weird version of it is like kind of ascendant, I think. I think the children are starting to see themselves as being true adherents to the tenets of the old religion. Um, like now, everyone is running around in costume as as evil priests, but they're like, but we are those things, there's like, I think there are, I think as these kids grow up, there's like, teen high school gangs, except those gangs are like, priests, and they're getting into fights with other priests in the streets, or the priests are fighting the Krampus elves. And that kind of situation. The youth culture has gone all in on this pagan religion that we kind of absorbed.
Excellent. Very good.
I'm
Yep,
gonna
you
take
gain a power
a
token.
token for that.
And your core value is orthodox now, so you do not have enough
I
power to
cannot
move.
move anything.
Okay. Draw a new card, and then Tim, you are up.
Oh fuck! I'm not ready this time. Okay. Alcohol and drugs.
Oh
Nice.
yeah.
Are we okay using this card, or should I set it aside? And you're
It's
gonna
funny, you're
stop
with
me.
children.
That's fine.
No, you're gonna stop me if I'm doing something terrible. And okay, and I'm not doing anything terrible, but you're gonna stop
Tim,
me if I think not doing. Yeah.
Tim,
All right.
I'm not going to stop you if you do something terrible.
No, wait, no, don't stop. Be set apart and alcohol and drugs. With the rise of this youth culture and the brawling in the streets and the competing smells of incense carried by the rival gangs, some of them carrying it in the large swinging censers, which I use to bludgeon the other people. And they have Krampus-like outfits, we said, and the Krampus has like the bells and things, and maybe they even have things like that. There's so much, again, like worldliness, right? And so what we begin to see is older people and as this religion has spread, it's come into contact with other cultures, and it's begin to pull in traditions from those other cultures that it's met, and the practical things. And one practical aspect that they've found is a drug which, taken in sufficient quantities, essentially renders the user in senseless over time, bringing them back to an almost infantile state. And so some of the established, like more as people grow older and more disillusioned, they will take this drug to basically blast their memory and return them to the creche, where they are cared for by others, again, as if they're children, hoping to be reborn in wisdom.
God, that
Wild.
sounds great.
I got to tell you, actually, as I was doing that, I realized that Matthew Hughes is a science fiction author, and he actually had something like that in one of his books. And I think I just accidentally bit it off. For which
That's
I'm
all right. Gotta borrow. Gotta steal. Thank you. It's a wild idea. All right. So was this your core value?
Mm-hmm.
4. So you don't get a power token. You don't have enough to move anything. You just need to draw a new card.
Yes.
And turn passes. Em, you're up.
Hooray! I am going to play once again to my tenant, a religious music, and I think in the spirit of aggressively guarding the faith, plus all the child stuff, plus more of Tim's nonsense. I think it's repetitive, hypnotic, very brassy, and like improvised drum situation. There it and is very much akin to like earworms of bullshit YouTube channels for children.
Awesome. Terrible. I'm very familiar. Very good. Was this your core value? Yes.
It is. So I
Do you
don't
have enough
get
tokens to
nothing.
move? No. So you just gotta draw a new
No.
card. Yep.
Watch me go.
All right. Eloy is up.
I am going to play Death. To I'm gonna play it to wield power. Because I'm gonna say that some of we already had like the myths and the legends of like the spirits of the old religion, and they were kind of tricksters. I want to say that like we probably had some deaths in our religion. Or no, that's not what I meant. Because I was putting it on the willpower. I apologize. I forgot my entire reason for doing that. I'm going to say that a bunch of other people in the other religions started dying. And then we started seeing tons more like catastrophes and everything happening all around us, which is essentially giving even more power to the idea of those trickster spirits are now becoming even greater in their power and able to really even just like disrupt our lives entirely instead of just like, losing my sock or whatever.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. In their deaths, they're wielding power. Good. Is this your core value? No, because that was no one's core value. So you gain a token. And would you like to spend tokens to move an asset?
I'm not going to spend right now.
Okay, then draw a card. And we are pivoting to the era shift. So Amabel is going to draw the top card of the era deck.
All right.
Hmm. 100 years have passed. Move one aspect from the tenet. One value clockwise. May not move the outermost aspect. Then answer the question below.
Okay.
It's funny trying to read them all upside down.
If you mouse over and hold spacebar, they'll present
Yeah.
themselves in regular orientation.
That's
All
no
right.
fun.
I'm going to move celebratory holidays, and it's clockwise. Yeah.
Clockwise. So now
All
celebratory
right.
holidays are about yielding power.
Yeah.
Great. Tell us about it.
Well, what happened is there was there was a particular holiday that went pretty awry because of some decisions made uh, by children or people speaking for children, and uh, we decided that yielding power to children was kind of it was setting those children apart, and we thought, you know what, let's decentralize that a little bit and just make the celebratory holiday a bit more of a celebration and a bit less something horrific happened, so a bit less horrifying. If someone else wants to jump in and tell me what horrifying thing happened.
I was actually going to say it kind of sounds like instead of it being kids in charge entirely, we've now made it just like a once a year yes day.
Okay.
Oh, I want to hear what terrible thing happened.
But I don't know. I want to know what terrible thing happened. I already said there was a bunch of deaths in other religions, so maybe something along those same lines.
Yeah. Maybe
What
I don't.
technological shift could have happened over 100 years that would make kids think differently? Like violent cartoons showed up, for example.
Mhm.
It's
Now
that
you-
music, man.
Yeah, the music.
The music.
Yep. It's the music.
It needs labels.
I mean, it could just be a gang war too. We had said earlier that the the kids were having gang wars. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Um,
a confluence of things, and uh, let's just decentralize that and have people do their own little things and celebrate more informally. Uh, Probably there were stabbings. I assume stabbings of, you know.
Probably there were stabbings.
quote of the night. Probably
Oh,
there were stabbings.
yeah, that sounds like a religion to me.
If Greg is talking, I cannot hear.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I muted myself because my water bottle is very loud. Sorry. So we are on to the move the tenant phase, and there is a clear leader. Guard the
Mhm.
Faith has 4, so the tenant is going to come over here, and now these 3 aspects are orthodox. So if one of these is your core value, gain a power token right now.
Hooray!
Power, accruing it. And then we check for endgame. There are still cards in the deck. We still have time to play. Is everyone still on board to continue to play? Cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
I will. Great. Then let's move that first player token. And I forget who bottom right is. Anna, take it
That's
away.
me. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening. I am playing. Oh, that's the wrong card. I am playing Rest, and I am going to play Rest to wield power. Um, and what this is so Tim introduced the idea that now we have these drugs that when you take them, they return you to a childlike state where other people need to care for you. And so I believe that now older people, as an act of protest, will take the youth drug to make themselves um, useless and baby-like and dependent on younger people to take care of them as a way to abdicate their responsibilities in society and try and try. I think the movement is about forcing the youth to to like step up and govern more seriously, but it actually is like a pretty deeply selfish act by the older generation. So we've invented a drug that's Facebook, I think is what's happened.
Oh
Wild.
no.
Oh man. All right. Was that your core value?
That was not my core
No.
value.
So gain a power token.
Okay.
And then do you want to spend, let's see, you are orthodox, so do you want to spend 3 to move another
That
aspect?
is a great question. Let me look around the board.
Don't mind me, I'm just making more power tokens for us to use because we're running out.
Too much power.
The rules do say the supply of power is unlimited.
Oh.
Wow.
Just like the real world.
Just like the real world.
Question mark.
Um, what did we say previously about the religious music?
It's like repetitive, brassy, improvised drums, and repetitive.
Okay.
But you can't move the outermost one.
I can't move the outermost one. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
It's also repetitive.
Cool. Um, okay. No, I think I know what this is. So I'm gonna take Decor from Guard the Faith. I'm moving that to Yield Power. Um, and so what this is previously, previously I said that Live, Laugh, Love was about the aesthetics of the old religion. But now Live, Laugh, Love is about abdicating your role in society and becoming a child. So now, um, so now what this looks like is people go really all in, or older people of the older generation go really in on aestheticizing their return to a childlike experience. Um, I think they go really in on the equivalent of like the sad beige aesthetic, which here is like a sad baby aesthetic. People are like getting rid of sharp implements in their homes and like preparing their homes for uh like they were when they were children. And then they are taking the drugs and reverting to a childlike state in their little uh, childhood homes that they prepared for themselves
With the tiny food too.
with the tiny food, the tiniest food.
This is so sad, but I love it.
All the grapes are cut in half. Just learn how to choking hazard.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta skim them.
Very good. All right, so go ahead and draw a 4th card, Anna, and Tim, you are up.
Oh,
Thank you.
fuck. Ah,
It
you gotta
keeps
warn me.
sneaking up on you.
Okay, we never decided what the big horror was. I'll step up. I'm putting sacrifices on yield power.
You got it.
Yeah.
Following up on decor. And this is because 100 years went by. There's this long jump between the time when people started taking the drugs, when the children were being given too much power, and sometime between then and now, terrible deeds were enacted that resulted in the changes to the amount of children, the amount of power that children have. And I think the way we see this is that we see and stop me if this is too far off. We see like a camera because you wanted us to get more into like describing stuff. I think we see like a camera, the camera view drifting through the ancient, now it's ancient monasteries where the anchorite type holes were, and we can see that at some point these ancient formerly ancient things had been broken open, the skeletons inside removed, and then replaced with large drums. The drums that were used at one point in ecstatic ceremonies for this loud clanging music. But during these terrible dark times, these drums were actually made from human skins, from the people who were fighting in the streets, from the people who were attempting to thwart those who were using drugs to return to childhood, which was a heresy for some. And now we have these temples of silence, where these where these musical instruments live, which must never be touched, and they're locked back within those original kind of very holy niches in the wall, and people can view them but never touch them. Is that too much? I'm sorry.
It's
No,
right
I
up
like
his.
it.
I withdraw
No,
that.
no, it's
No,
dope
no,
as
it's-
hell.
I
It's
love
good.
the
He's talking
Temples
about.
of silence. That's very
Okay.
good.
It's a lot, but it's good. It's right. It's right up there. It's happening. Very
And
good.
that went to yield power.
And that was not your core value, so you gain a
Oh.
power token,
Get a power token.
and
And-
you are 4. So is your core value schismatic? Yes. So do you want to spend 2 to move 1?
No, I feel
Okay.
too bad right now.
Em, you were about to say something.
Oh no.
Okay. Then just draw a 4th card, Tim, and then M is up.
Okay. So I'm gonna play Saints and Holy People to guard the faith. Who are the important supporting characters in the faith's tales? What feats earned these honored ones their positions of respect? And because Guard the Faith is now orthodoxy and is really trying to lean into this reinforcing of the whole child supremacy and deal with the rebellious old people, the stories of the saints are all the stories of like aging people who did miraculous deeds in order to support the young. And those are the models that are being kind of held up as exemplary.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I believe I can't do anything else because I'm on the Orthodox side and it would cost
Correct.
me too much.
Correct.
Cool.
So just draw a card to fill your hand, and Eloy is up.
Okay. I am going to say that I'm going to play this card, Oracles, and I'm going to play it on Be in the World, and I'm going to say that we start having some of the children start acting. It almost becomes almost like a entertainment value, right, of like the tarot readings and stuff, but we start having like children popping up and like giving like fortunes at like kind of everywhere. It becomes like a TV thing, and they're on Maury Povich and everything. I just like the idea of that just becoming like the symbol of us in the world. Because guarding the faith, you guys are doing such a good job over there. Now it's children giving fortunes that now people are like, they feel like they need to follow everything that the children say.
Very good. The famous TV famous child oracles are very fun.
Exactly. I'm gonna spend 2. Actually,
good.
and I got 1, so let me because that was not mine. I'm actually gonna move marriage over to welcome the outsider.
Wonderful.
And I'm going to say that because our religion has become so child-centric, we start having to reach out, and the only way now to join the religion is to marry in, because it's literally almost all children. We're not going to marry children. So it's like, so yeah. So now it's like to even get in, it's like you gotta have to marry one of the few adults that are a part of the religion already.
Wild. Very good. Okay, and draw up to 4, and
Oh, yeah.
Amabel's up.
All right. So what I have here is language. Are the practitioners of the faith monolingual or multilingual? Are certain rituals conducted in different language or dialect? Is the language of faith is the language of surrounding society? I feel like we're trying to bring more people in because we're gonna run out. We're gonna run out of practitioners if we don't. So bring people in. We need to accept all languages. We need to have like a very vernacular, um, in the language that you speak. We're going to do our rituals, and that is going to be in welcome the outsider. So let me just. Oh, I okay.
I got you.
I turned my whole screen.
Oh no.
I
How'd you
don't
do
know how.
Nice.
Rotate the
Impressive.
computer monitor.
Listen, I don't even know how to do that.
I don't
Okay,
either.
okay. I fixed it.
Oh,
It
good.
kept hitting R until I fixed it. And
Wonderful.
that's not my value. So I'm gonna take one of these. I am going to spend 3
Yes.
of these. To how do I? Okay, hang
I'll
on.
spend them all. Oh, you got them. You good.
Okay, yeah. All right.
There you go.
I'll figure it out eventually. I've been trying to use Screen Top for years. I should figure it out one of these days. Um, and I am going to move. Hierarchy to welcome the outsider
Very good.
because
Mm.
uh, we need not only to be accepting people, having them marry in, but we need to attract them, and we need to kind of advertise that hey, we need these new ideas, we need new people to help us out a little bit. So we'll give a little, we'll give a little, and that is that thing that I did.
Very good. Very good. All right, draw up to 4. And we are now at the next era shift. Who is first player? Anna, go ahead and resolve that top era card.
Okay, I'm excited. 100 years have passed. Move one aspect from a tenant, one value counterclockwise.
Mm.
Okay.
So here's our
The current
tenant.
tenant is guard the faith. Okay, let's see. We've got unseen forces, legend, and religious music, and it moves counterclockwise to yield power. Um, okay. I think I'm moving religious music. Um, and what does that look like? So I think let's see, what forces outside faith cause this aspect to change during the century? Well, I think that we are in a period where we're marrying a lot of people from outside of the religion. Um, and so I think we just have this really um, really high powered cultural exchange that so many outside people are coming into this religion, and our music is so repetitive and boring that immediately all these people start bringing in their own music, and it immediately becomes super trendy, way more interesting. Um, so yeah, so we get this like we always have this like jazz era that happens where we have all these different kinds of music that are blending together. And in fact, the old music of our own religion, it becomes kind of passe, I think.
Awesome. Very good. So there are 2 values with 5 aspects. So the tenant wants to move the shortest distance. So the new tenant of the faith is yield power.
It's an
Uh,
honor.
yes. And we've now got orthodox values are guard the faith, yield power, and be set apart. So if those are your core values, take 1 power token. The first player is going to move. Tim, you're going to be the first player. I'm giving you the warning momentarily. I'm stalling for a second. And I will actually stall for a little bit longer to say it's our end of round check-in. So we have 2 rounds left of play, and then we have a brief sort of epilogue. I think we can do it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I know everyone has a sort of 10 o'clock out. So let's do it. Yeah, people still
Yeah.
feeling good.
Oh yeah, I feel
Great.
like we've been trucking along. After the
Yes.
first round, I think we
Yes.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game tends to accelerate. So
Yeah.
all right, then let's go for it. So, and just also, this is like a strategy note, right? If you're hoarding power tokens, there's 2 rounds left. It's time to smoke them if you got them. Start using that power you've accrued. Did I give enough time for you, Tim?
Okay, if it's time for me to go, I'll go.
It's time. It's time.
Okay. I'm invoking memory. Where'd it go? How does the faith invoke or relate to stories of its own past? Who are the keepers of these tales? What physical objects are used to store, recall, and invoke these memories? And I'm putting this onto religious, kind of following up on religious music under yield power. Actually, this is totally yield power. Over the past 100 years, things were forgotten. What is the word? What's the opposite of a gerontocracy? Ruled by a juviltocracy?
That works.
Infantocracy?
It's a babytocracy.
Of children making decisions, youths who fight, old people who check out as fast as they can, does not make for good institutional memory across the core of a civilization. And with these newcomers coming into our culture and intermarrying and becoming part of this, we actually realize that the people who traveled among us from these cultures before know more about our religion than we do. There's things we just lost. There's entire scripts we can no longer read. But this person who came through 400 years ago wrote a whole book about it. And so these people have become a sort of de facto reflection of our culture back onto us. And we are excited to have them. We wish, and they come to have, they are not religious leaders, but they are the people who guide the rituals. You stand there now and read these words. And they keep us true to what we want to believe in, even when they don't believe it themselves.
Cool. Very good. I love this. All right. Sorry, too many questions. Your core value is 4, which means you're Orthodox, so you do not have enough power tokens to spend to move.
Okay.
So go ahead and draw a new card, and then your turn is over, and we'll
Wait,
turn to him.
He played that to yield power. Shouldn't he
Oh,
get a
my
token?
bad. My bad. Yes, correct. Yep. So you do
Okay.
now. You do have enough.
Okay. I don't not move to move anything. Thank you very much.
Great. Good job. I'm glad that someone else caught my rules there. That means my
I'm a
teacher
little bit
is
of
at
a
least
rules
okay.
lawyer. I apologize.
No, don't. This is good. That means things are going well. All right, Em, you are up.
Okay. All right. Do. I have been going back and forth. And so I'm yeah, this is the problem, I would just like to say, with being suddenly Orthodox. It's very annoying. And so after much hemming and hawing, I'm gonna play work on Guard the Faith. Are certain jobs off limits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm gonna say that that the work that's important for the guarding of the faith is something we haven't talked about, which is childcare, both as a kind of object of kind of a space of recruitment, as well as just a necessity for the religion to promote the kind of notion that childcare is labor that needs to be like centered and honored.
Cool.
And I am Orthodox. I have 3 power tokens. I'm gonna smoke them. I'm turning my head like a dork, to see what I can do in terms of yielding power. And let's see. And so I can't move the outside one. That's the rule.
Correct.
But I'm gonna move celebratory holidays to guard the faith. And kind of note kind of in the same kind of movement of um emphasis on caretakers, like the celebratory holiday starts to kind of include like a kind of caregivers like honoring becomes an aspect of the celebration in order to kind of basically like further reinforce the honoring of taking care of children.
It's now Mardi Gras, Christmas, Halloween, Mother's Day.
No, fuck Mother's Day. No, you know, right? Because it was. I mean, but yes, and yes, in a sense, but like very emphasizing like the idea of community care and that many people are involved in that labor.
It's like if
So-
May Day were also Mother's Day.
Yeah, there you go.
So real quick, just to be the rules lawyer again, you did play it on yours.
Oh yeah,
So you wouldn't be
I
able to
did.
also then spend to move it, right?
No. So the rule is why
You
that happened
can?
for Tim was that Tim gained one for playing off suit, essentially, for not playing to his core value. M had 3 stored up before the start of this turn, so she has
Right.
enough.
I didn't get any
So
this
you-
turn.
So you can do it even though you play to your own.
Correct.
Okay,
The only
gotcha.
limitation is, do you have enough tokens to
Thank
do
you
it?
very much.
Thank you for asking that
That's
question.
a good clarification.
Mm-hmm. And then so M drop 1 card, and Eloy is up.
Oh, right.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I feel like so I'm gonna play alter. I'm gonna play alter on be set apart. And I'm gonna say that we started the altar became our beds because we all started, even the adults started sleeping in cribs. And it was literally just a way for us to show our devotion to the religion. So cribs of various sizes, to the only the most
Like
devout
MTV
do
cribs.
this. What's that?
You mean like MTV cribs, not
Yes,
necessarily. Yeah.
sure. No, I mean cribs.
Like baby cribs.
So yeah, so I'm gonna say that becomes a thing that we start doing as well. And then I am schismatic, so I was gonna move one. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was gonna move children over from yield power to welcome the outsider, and I was gonna say that the religion starts adopting children.
Oh.
Oh no, it's really bad, but that's what we start doing.
No.
Wait, so the
Gotta
children
go.
start adopting children?
Yes.
Well, now we have this trend of like
We got
the
baby
elders are rising up a little bit, right?
That's true. We did bring in more people, so now we need even more kids, and we're not making enough kids fast enough, so we have to start adopting kids.
I'm imagining like a Pied Piper of Hamelin sort of situation.
I love that with our very repetitive music. Oh no, that's passe now.
No, we
But
got
our,
jazz
our,
now, baby.
our cool new jazz is attracting all of the children.
Terrible, wonderful.
It is both terrible and wonderful. I agree.
Yes, good. Okay. All right, and that was 2 tokens, which I will.
Yes, please take my
spend
2
for you.
tokens.
I'm taking them away. And draw up 1 more card.
I will do
and
that.
turn passes to Amabel.
All right. Well, as I do most of the time, I am playing the gender card, and I'm gonna play it to welcome the outsider. I don't feel. Does the faith assign roles and metaphorical positions of different genders? There are so many different genders. I don't think that. No, I think we want to welcome as many people as possible, many genders as possible. So, it goes to welcome the outsider. That's where I'm putting that.
Awesome.
That's not my core value, so I get a token. I have 2, and I am schismatic. So I can spend those. And I'm gonna move food to welcome the outsider, because you know what? We need some different food. We hear about this thing called full size food. I want to see what that's like.
It gets comically oversized.
Mm-hmm.
What if food, but big? Wonderful. Very good. Very good. Okay.
So instead of tapas, now we're all like family style, every meal, everything now.
So like cafeteria tray of macaroni and cheese. Yeah.
Vienna sausage sales plummet.
Oh no.
Oh,
And very good. Yep, Amabel's drawing another card for the end of her turn. And next up is Anna.
Hi, I also just discovered the button that makes the entire screen flip,
Oh no.
which is
Keep
very
pushing on.
fun.
amazing.
I just jump scared myself with it. So I am going to play. I'm going to play Travel.
Mm.
And I'm going to play Travel to be in the world. And so I think that what this represents is we're in an era where we are basically learning about our religion from other peoples and other places.
Mhm.
And so I think there begins to be this like ritual, this coming of age rite of as a young person you go out and visit somewhere else to learn more about your religion, like the history of your own religion. We've done, we've lost so much of the historical record of that, and I think that this travel is framed as a pilgrimage, not a mission.
I like it.
Cool.
I'm
Cool.
gonna take a token from that, and I am. Let's see. Interesting, fun, interesting. I'm gonna spend 3 tokens and move something somewhere.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick look around the board. Okay. 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 I'm gonna take death,
Awesome.
and I'm gonna put. I'm trying to decide where this would be most appropriate. I think I'm gonna put it in guard the faith. Um, I I think people start interning themselves in those silent temples.
Oh,
They start sealing themselves in with their drum kits
In their
wonderful.
cribs.
and their crits.
And then they sit in silence and don't play the drums.
Oh.
Well, that's the question, right?
Well, I'm asking.
No, well, I think they're literally sealed up, and so the idea is like if a corpse um in a tomb plays the drums and no one hears it, is it the afterlife? It becomes a mystery of the religion.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. And some people say they hear the drumming and other people don't.
Schrodinger's cats and boots.
Very
That's
good. Very good.
I'm so proud of myself right now.
Wonderful. Very good. What is happening? I'm so overwhelmed by this wonderful image. Oh, it's the end of Anna's turn. So Anna, draw one card.
Oh,
And
thanks for the
we,
reminder.
of
The
course,
one rule I can never remember.
it's such an annoying upkeep rule. Everyone forgets it, but it's important enough that I had to keep it in the game. All right, so Tim is going to resolve the era card for us.
Okay, so I
Draw the
go
top era card.
over here. I flip it.
Yes, yes.
Can put it over there.
Yep.
I zoom in. Whoops. 100 years have passed. Move one aspect from the tenet to the opposite value, then answer the question below. What forces outside the faith caused this aspect to change during this century? Perhaps an important technology ceased to function, a new art form emerged, an ancient artifact was rediscovered. Okay. What is it? So I take one of these
Correct.
guys and I move them over.
But not
Memory, and not the outer one. Excellent. Religious music, sacrifices, decor, and these are going to go to wield power. Okay. Religious music.
Hell yeah.
That obviously has to be the one. So it's going to move over here to wield power, and something has happened which has caused this change. And 100 years have gone by. I think that the religion has gone underground. I think new other religions have come up. It's been cast, and it's decadent. I mean, it had whole sections of its population unable to work. Its best peoples were inuring themselves in walls, and so they were cast down. And now they're a secret. They're a minority religion. Are we okay with this? Is this the last? This the
I'm
last
good with
round?
it.
Yes.
We have one more after this.
Oh, one
Correct.
more.
Right?
Yes. So everyone's gonna take one more turn, and then M is gonna do what Tim is doing now, and then
Okay.
we'll resolve the epilogue.
And I think what happens is we have religious music, which are the drums, and I think that within the cities where these people live, when the religious the followers keep themselves secret, but occasionally will work themselves up into frenzies in which they do the ritual ecstatic drumming until the authorities come and the drumming stops, and those people disappear. Is this too
Awesome.
dramatic?
That
Okay.
was great. That was
Like
great.
it.
That's good.
Very good. All right, we are entering the final round. M is the first player.
Weird. So I am going to play clerical garments on Welcome the Outsider. And I'm gonna say that like
Oh, wait, hold on real quick.
Oh.
It should have moved the tenant, right?
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yep,
did
yep,
we?
yep.
Oh,
Eloy is-
yeah.
Oh.
We got other stuff to do.
So our new tenant is definitely Welcome the Outsider. It has the most. So this guy's going to turn. So our new orthodox values are wield power, welcome the outsider, and be set apart. If these are your values, gain 1 power token. Yes, thank you, whoever moved the Black Queen. Now it's M's turn.
Okay. I stand by my statement.
Great.
Clerical garments on Welcome the Outsider. And like basically like travel snuggies are the kind of clerical garb. They're very sturdy but also like tactile and cozy. They're not necessarily personalized because they get washed so often. And they're also suitable for like all kind of climates and travel, so that like as folks are moving around to different spaces and their religion is on the go, they are suitable for purpose in that way.
And like, did we we patented the design, so like they have to join to get one? Like,
I mean, we did have an early example of the way that like some sort of like commercialism
Mm-hmm.
filtered in, and then that kind of went away several centuries ago. So no, I think it's very DIY. Like
Okay.
you make your own um but you're like you make your first one as an initiate, and then it like goes into the
Mm.
common pool um in that way.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
Why are the people traveling? Where do they go?
To like because as like the outsiders are being welcomed, there's a kind of I think reciprocity that's now starting to emerge, or the notion that you would go back out and find more outsiders on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I was
This is
also
back to
imagining them
our
as like
there's more children situation.
I was also imagining the scene of them being on the run from the authorities. Like this is like your go bag. It's just like, "Ooh," and then you run.
It's got a lot of pockets. A lot of them are made with handy pockets.
Very good, very good. All right, you did not play to your core value, so you gain a
So
token.
I get a little token, and that has me not able to do anything. So I think that's the end of my turn.
No, your core value
No.
is now schismatic. So if you want to spend
Oh,
those 2
Mhm.
tokens, you can.
wait, no, I only have one.
But you just gained. Is that the one you just gained?
That was the one I just gained.
Okay, my bad. I thought you had that in your
No,
supply
no,
segment. So even if you're correct,
no.
yep,
Womp
great.
womp.
Then you can't do anything. Your turn is over. Eloy is up.
All right. I'm gonna continue with that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do media, and I'm gonna say that we get a mustachioed spokesman who starts selling the onesies. They call them my onesies, and
Oh no, I hate it.
we're going super commercial now. And yeah, so like it starts getting sold like crazy because it started off as kind of an initiate thing, and it was this very like spiritual thing. Nope, got hyper commercialized because one dude probably like joined and then was like, these are great, and then was like, I can sell these so anyway, yeah, so that's gonna go and welcome the outsider because now we're selling those really super comfy onesies all around the world.
Is he making like what medium is he working in? Is it like TV? Is he doing a
Oh
stage
yeah.
play about him?
Oh
It's
no,
TV.
he's mostly like really lavish TV commercials. Um Mostly sold like on the Travel Channel, like Discovery. Um
Awesome.
With 3 easy payments of $29.99.
exactly.
Wonderful. Very good.
And I get no
You
tokens or anything, so I'm good.
all right, and Amabel is up.
All right. Well, with people either traveling or on the run or going underground, I feel like meeting places are going to be pretty informal and basically be held anywhere where there's food. I think food's still very important, and that's gonna be a way again to kind of welcome the outsider and be like, hey, if you want to start a holy place, go ahead, go, more the merrier. We're in a we need people kind of phase and a less organized kind of phase. So that's where I'm putting that. I do
Perfect.
get a token, but I'm gonna take it anyway. You know, even
Yes.
even if I can't do it,
You
I'm gonna take it.
can't use it, but you still earned that token. All right, very good. Anna, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to be playing Common Rituals, and I'm putting it under Yield Power. And so what I think this is we have this kind of diasporic almost, religion now where we have all these kids in Snuggies traveling around. And I think there's this religious ritual where like um whenever travelers from the same from our our religion gather in one place, they recognize each other by their snuggies. There is like a ritual where they all gather around, they turn out their pockets, share their resources, and then they put everything in the big circle. Everyone takes what they needs, and then goes their separate ways. So there's this
Mm.
real idea of like you whatever you carry in your pockets um, belongs to not just you, but to the community. And they probably have a funny little saying that goes with it that I can't think of right
We'll all imagine it in our hearts.
now.
Yes.
Very good.
Oh, and I'm
Wonderful.
going to take a little die for that.
Perfect. And you don't have enough to spend, but that is a-okay. All right, Tim, with the last regular turn of the game.
Shit. I somehow thought. Okay. Motherfucker. Give me the count of 3.
3, 2,
Two.
All right. Beginning of the
One.
world is going to go to welcome the outsider. Is that where we had the people who were traveling?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, travel is up and be in the world.
Okay.
And
Yeah, be in the world. That's what I wanted. Be in the world.
okay, I was gonna and welcome the outsider. We had languages, which was the people coming in, not the going out.
The beginning of the world is lost to time. Says a young person in a snuggie to a group of other people at a roadside rest station. It's modern times. There's cars roaring by. These people are camped out, kind of waiting until travel. Some of them are napping. They're waiting until morning to travel some more. They've come together and they say the beginning of the world was lost to time. And in the beginning, there was a word given to those who came before us, a false religion, and they perished. And their ghosts lived on, and we found ways to fool them by asking the youth. And you and I, says this person, we are the youth. And we can ask each other questions and give each other ideas, and we carry these forth. And our words are held down by the people who are of this false new, the new authority. They don't like us here, which is why we travel. We are safe when we're outside of our own borders. And we must find the new beginning of a new world and build out again what comes next. And that's why we walk, and that's why we travel and share our stories.
Beautiful.
That's very
Beautiful.
beautiful.
I want to end it right
Love it.
there, but we still have more rule steps to go through. The sad reality of mixing board game and RPG design. So, Em, go ahead and reveal the last era card.
Okay. I get to do this twice. I'm so lucky.
Yes.
All right. So this is just flipping it. So move one aspect from the tenant one value counterclockwise, then answer the question below. So that is clear. Hello, friend. Okay, so many choices.
Yeah, it built up at the end there.
Goodness me. Yeah, I'm gonna move children back to wield power.
Awesome.
At to kind of solidify the fact that like that has continued to be an important like has its primary importance in the kind of wielding of power and authority.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I mean, it's interesting like what forces outside the faith. I mean, I think that it's a doubling down, right? It's a reinforcement. But it emphasizes as it moves from kind of the notion of outside children to kind of an emphasis on kind of unity in some way, shape, or form at that as in that kind of 100-year period. So I think that's the deal.
Yeah.
Children are always they're really important to this
They're
religion.
ours
Going back.
now, and
Very good. Very good. All right. So, the game is at its end. We have to figure out what is the epilogue and tell our sect stories. It is almost 10 o'clock, so we will do this quickly.
Mhm.
I counted these up, and there are 27 aspects on orthodox values and 14 on schismatic values. That math doesn't add up, but whatever. So we're clearly in the orthodox, the stable ending. When we
Okay.
get to the stable ending, what we say is the faith hangs together, establishes a canonical core, and asserts power over society for centuries to come. Histories of this world do not make sense without understanding the faith and its incredible influence. So, now you all have to check on your goals, and if you accomplished 0 goals, you are going to tell the story of how your sect faded from relevance. So first, we'll talk to people who has accomplished 0 of their goals.
That's me.
Can I flip your goals over and see
Oh,
what they were?
absolutely.
So you
I was
had
both contrary and righteous, and I got neither.
what happens? Oops, what happens to your sect of power yielding practitioners?
Interesting. Yeah, so I think they just become part of society. I think they just lose their religion. They become any other traveler you'll see at a roadside, bus stop. There's some kids, waiting for the Greyhound. One of them's wearing a Snuggie. Does that mean something? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't.
Salt has lost its saltiness, as they say. Um, very good. Sad day. Has anyone else accomplished 0 goals?
Almost.
No, everyone else got 1 goal. Okay, so then we just go in turn order. So starting with M, and pick one of your goals that you accomplished, and tell us about how your sect accomplished its goal.
I have succeeded in the rebellious, which is to say that we are on the schismatic side, but the faith overall is stable. And so the ways in which guard the faith, the kind of sect that's obsessed with guarding the faith is no longer aligned, is that because the religion is so incredibly powerful, it is unbounded, and it does not need the kind of hardline um, uh, security and reinforcement that this particular sect holds so dear. So we continue on as a kind of small annoying and vocal segment, but largely minimally relevant.
Cool.
But
Very
someday
good.
we may be needed again.
You may come back and seize power in the future. Very good, Eloy.
I did ambitious, which was get stable and be the core value at the end. Um, so I was scared at the beginning. I didn't think that I was actually gonna win it because everybody
It was
kept
not
taking
going
it
your
from me.
way.
I was like, but I think that just pushing the we have to keep having kids. We need to keep, we're not having enough kids, well then we're gonna adopt them. We just essentially we were just pushing to just grow and grow and grow and grow. And that's what my sect was, and did it get a little bit away from us at times with gang wars and famine? Sure. But but in the end, our faith bore fruit, if you will.
Very good. Very good. Amabel?
Yeah. So I'm choosing the steadfast goal, which was accomplished, achieve the stable ending regardless of what happens to your core value, and describe how my set compromises this value to ensure the faith's survival. Well, being in the world, um, now that the faith is kind of a little more informal and underground and maybe on the run, uh, we are in some ways apart from the world, but we had to do that to keep going, and that means that some people probably don't feel great about that. Probably uh, have left the faith others are staying there, and for the good of the whole are being okay with being less in the world.
Cool. And Tim?
I think we're going to go back to the idea of the people who are outside traveling, and they echo the anchorites in that they've become the total opposite. We see like a slideshow, one of those old 1960s style slideshows that advance with the beep, and it's about the sect of the religion to help kind of orient the young toward it. And we see like people inside a house watching TV. We see a guy in a car looking angry. We see a 1960s guy in a phone booth. And then we see like, you know, the original, like a drawing or a recreation of an original anchorite in the thing, and and we realize the people have flipped, and now they are all locked inside, communing in ways that are improper. And so now these folks stay outside the sect, and they travel and they try to spread this new word. Yeah, and that's how they're now apart.
Nice. Very good. This was the story of the faith, of its growth and decay, of its changes throughout the years. Now the story has ended. Thank you for playing.
Yay!
Bravo.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Thank you all for spending some time on this. I really appreciate it.
It was a lot.
We never named it.
We never named the faith.
We
Do you want
didn't.
to name the faith?
No,
Great.
no, it's a terrible idea. I'm just so impressed that it didn't happen.
I feel like that's part of our faith, is that like it's the faith with no name. It's like a
don't name it.
Voldemort of sorts.
When the most like kind of powerful and meaningful utterance is a child before like language, I don't
Mhm.
think you get a
Yeah.
name for that kind of faith.
Yeah.
Well, we're the syncretic neo-rationalists, free verbal neo-rationalists. Thank you very much.
Why you're that's why you're the outsiders, because you picked the name.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good.
I wonder where people could get this game.
Thank you, Eloy. I was just going to plug. Very good. This game is funding right now on BackerKit from Central Michigan University Press. If you search BackerKit Keep the Faith or BackerKit Central Michigan, you'll find it. I'm like 75% of the way funded with about 2.5 weeks to go. So I think we're going to make it, but not without your help. Thank you again for the help of the people on this stream. Y'all are wonderful. Thank you for taking so much time on a weeknight. I really appreciate it. It's very late where I am, and I'm very tired. So I think we're going to wrap it up. Andrew, what do we have to do to bail out of the stream? I have no idea. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And good
Leaning
night.
more towards speaking to my doctor about it. Part of the reason why I haven't done it yet is because I'm scared of like the needles.
Every guy is afraid of that. Certainly I was. I think it was just, you know, it was less